Hello guys, this is Nick from HF Survival School, and today I want to show you my car survival kit. Now let's say a few words about the mentality behind my car survival kit. If you are interested in this kind of survival stuff, that means you are interested in self-reliance or being self-reliant, so that you don't rely on others. So in an emergency you want to help yourself rather than call someone for help. And that's the mentality behind my car. I want to be maximum self-reliant. I want to do maximum stuff in an emergency, God forbid in an emergency. I want to fix maximum stuff and don't rely on others. So for example, if something real minor happens, whether to the car or to myself, I want to be able to fix that by myself, and I want to help myself without calling someone and crying like a little baby. One of the most important things in an emergency is to not panic and to stay calm, and also it is good to have some company, so I always have company with me, my family member, so that I don't panic. I always have my family member with me, my dog Rocco. I have to take Rocco with me almost everywhere I go, or even when I'm going on a single day trip. I have to take him with me because I can't leave him with my mother because he is in our apartment. So I have built this dog home, and I have built my survival kit around this dog crate. Now I will take out everything so that I can show it to you in more details. Now on the sides of the dog crate I have put some leather handles so that it is very easy to take it out, and I also added a strap. On the strap I have different pouches, as you see. Mostly this first aid kit is on the front, but still these two pouches go here, and let's see what I have in those. One of the very important items are these cheap working gloves, which I just put on because it is very cold out here. It is very handy to have this because in a weather like this, where it is cold outside or where it is dirty, it is very easy, and it is very less pain to work with whatever you are working with when you have some gloves on. So in this pouch I have some tools. This is a tool for taking off the bolts on my tires so that I can remove the tire. You have to have a regular and Phillips head screwdriver. I have some pliers. These are the good quality old Soviet pliers. I also have a flare. It is very good to have a flare. In an emergency you can light this up so that you can signal others, or this makes one of the best fire starters because this burns very hot. You put it in your kindling and you have a fire in no time. I also have some duct tape. As you see, I'm running low, so I have to change that. I won't start talking about the importance of having duct tape with you because it has very many uses and it is very handy in many situations. I have used this stuff in situations where you just can't even prepare for. And next up I have these wrenches. It is very important to have this stuff. Size 12, size 13. 13 is one of the most important stuff. Size 10, 8, 17 and 19. Now all of us know that type of person who tends to fix anything on his truck, but I'm by far not one of that guy. I don't know how to fix anything, but now that I got my first car, I have learned many things. I have learned how to do many stuff. A few parts broke down, and when I took it to the guy to fix it, I was looking closely, and in an emergency I know what noise it will make if something same I know what noise it will make if something same breaks, so I will be able to fix it in an emergency. So you don't have to be that kind of guy who knows how to fix everything on his car, but it is very important to have all of this stuff, because here's a fun story. I was going back from a from a 2-day trip, and I was already in the city, and suddenly on the road my car turned off. I was like, even if the battery is very bad, it won't turn off while driving. It is impossible that to happen. So it turned off suddenly, without any idea. So I'm standing there in the middle of the road. I don't know what to do, I don't know what to fix, and I just opened the hood and just sat down and thought about it, that the electricity was gone. So I looked at the battery and I saw that one of the cables which is sitting on the battery came loose. So that's when the size 13 winch wrench came in handy. I just put it on and I was able to go back on the road. So it is very important to have all of this, even if you don't know how to use everything. I recommend to have it, because you may be able to fix stuff just like that by looking at it. Inside the other pouch, which goes on the dog crate, I have this emergency space blanket made by SOL. This is the better quality ones, which doesn't rip that easy. I won't go in many details how many uses this has, but it has a lot of uses, reflecting heat and etc. And in the third pouch I have a first aid kit. This usually doesn't go in my truck, because in an emergency I want to get to this very fast. So I have this on the front. I have some different kind of medicines, some pads, some band-aids and stuff like that. Everything that I find useful and nothing extra. On this side of the crate I have an axe. This is the Husqvarna small hatchet. You guys have seen me use this for many years. As you see, it is razor sharp. I have a protective collar on it, which I put like 4 or 5 years ago, but I recommend having a small hatchet like this, which you can double up and use as a hammer as well as chop some wood or many other stuff. You don't need anything crazy. Of course it is good to have full-size axe, but a small hatchet like this will make you go through in 99% of the time. I also have a shovel. This is a small Soviet shovel, military shovel. As you see, it needs the handle to be replaced, but it is a solid shovel. It is very important to have a shovel with you, because, for example, if you get stuck in mud, you have to dig yourself out of it, or if you get stuck in snow, you have to dig yourself out of it, or if you get stuck in sand, in any case you have to dig yourself out of it. Also, I find this very useful in many situations as well. Different kind of everyday kind of stuff, you know. You randomly for something may realize that you need a shovel and suddenly you have it, and all of the other stuff which I have. I also carry about 2 or 3 liters of water with me all the time. This water is so that I can put in the hood of the car, so that the windshields work and the cooling works. And also I have drinking water, 1 or 2 liters with me almost all the time, up on the front. Another thing I have is the small rubber tube. This can be used so that you can take out gas from the car in an emergency. You put one end inside the gas and you do like that on the other side, and the gas will start coming out again in an emergency. You don't know when you may need some gas, for example, to start a fire or many other things. Also, I have this belt. I don't know, sorry, how it is called in English, but a replacement belt like this. It is easy to change on almost any cars. If you don't have like something crazy, you just Google it, and after a little hassle, I'm sure you will be able to change it. Again, if this breaks, you won't be going anywhere, so having an extra is very good. Also on the side I have some random wool shoe liners, because my feet always tend to freeze. Another very important thing to have are some extra spark plugs, because if your spark plugs break down, you won't be going anywhere, you won't be able to start your car. These are just leftovers from when I changed it, so these are old ones, but in an emergency they will work. And you will need also some kind of tool. I have this kind of tool to remove the spark plugs. It is very easy to change it, you don't have to be a professional, you just take off the cables, put on this tool, unscrew it, throw out the old one, put in the new one, screw it back in, put on the cable. Just Google it on any car. I'm sure there will be videos on it and you can see it. And it is very important to have spark plugs, because if these guys broke down, you won't be able to going anywhere. So it is very easy to change, and it is very important as well. Since it is winter and since I have to go off-road very often, I also carry 2 pairs of tire chains with me. It is even better to carry 4, but I can't afford it yet, so when I can afford it, I will put extra 2 as well, so that I will have chains on all 4 tires. But even having 2 is better than nothing. I just put like this diagonally, so if I put one chain on the right front wheel of the car, the other chain I will put on the left back side of the car, and I'm good to go. Having tire chains makes the difference of you reaching the destination or not, so it is that important, especially in winter and especially when you go out off-road quite a lot. Now on the channel we support sheepdog mentality, meaning that you carry all of this stuff not only for yourself but to help others as well, and these 3 items are an essential for any car in any situation, not only to help yourself but to help others as well. You have to have a good pair of jumper cables, so that in an emergency, if the battery dies, you can start your car or start other car. But in this case you will need another working battery or another working car, so that you will be able to start your own. I'm also thinking to add some kind of option, another option to make a dead battery working again. There are really 2 options: to carry an extra battery with you, but again it is expensive first. Second, it is pretty heavy, it is pretty bulky, and it is not that safe as well. But another option is also to carry those kind of portable power banks, which are specially made to make the dead batteries work again. But they are also kind of, I look at them kind of skeptical, they don't work that great. Another car and good quality jumper cables are the way to go. Second item is towing cable. Get some good quality towing cable. My car weighs about 1 ton and 200 kilograms. This is for 4 tons, so it is more than enough for myself or for others. It is very important to get good quality towing cable. Now this is not the best quality, to be honest, but until I can afford a better one, this is better than nothing. Again, in an emergency, I will be able to help someone, or someone will be able to help me with this towing cable. And the third most important item is a fire extinguisher. Now I carry this 2 kilo fire extinguisher. It also has a holder, so I'm figuring it out to where to put it. Now one thing is I can put it on the dog crate, but it will be hard to get to it in an emergency. I could put it on top of the dog crate, so that in an emergency when I'm driving I can reach it from the front. Or the best option would be to have this on the front, but on the front it is very bulky, takes many space, so I'm in the process of figuring out where to put this fire extinguisher. But again, it is very important. You may have an emergency or other ones, and having this will give you the option to save the day, either for yourself or for someone else. Also, I carry WD-40. Again, it has many uses. Just Google it. It is very useful, very handy, and sometimes it may save your day. I also carry 2 hats with me all the time. This is very warm wool military surplus hat, which Rocco loves to eat, as well as a simple beanie hat. And I have 2 gloves, 1 pair of gloves. These are the 100% wool shooter's gloves, which Rocco's father makes 8, but it is still better than nothing. And many times these 3 items had made a difference for me of freezing my ears and my hands and staying warm. Also, I carry 2 pry bars, one small one like this and one big one like this. I usually have this next to me on the front, for you know why. In an emergency maybe you have to run out of the car and defend yourself. And I have 2 of these pry bars because in an emergency with two pry bars like this, you can remove your tire from the disc. Now that is another question, where or when you may need to do that or not do that. But again, this doesn't make my car any heavy, and it is a great item, and to be more self-reliable, and I will be able to take off and put on a tire from the actual disc. To pump the tires, I was thinking to get an electrical pump, but then again, I like to be more self-reliant. Those electric pumps may break down, so that's why I got this old Soviet made to last foot pump. As you see, I was able to find it brand new. It is As you see, it is brand new. It is not even rusted or anything. It was just sitting in the stock. I was able to pick this up for, like, I don't remember, $10, $12, and again, it is something made to last generations. And with this, you will need more effort than an electrical pump to pump up your tires, but then again, you are more self-reliant. One more very important thing is to have a spare tire. Of course, probably, I'm 99% sure that your car came with one, but if it is a used car, then probably someone used it and didn't replace it. And it is also very important to know where your tire is located and how to remove it, because here's a cool story. Once we were hunting with my father and uncle, and my uncle had a brand new Land Cruiser Prado, and it had the spare tire on the underside of the back side, under the trunk, and it was very tricky to remove, because you had to put in some kind of rod which it came with, and you had to turn that rod, and it was very problematic to actually hook that rod on the inside, and it was very problematic. And we spent many hours, not many hours, but we spent about 40 minutes or 1 hour figuring out how to remove the spare tires. And we were lucky because it was sunny and it was not cold. But imagine if it was a weather like this, very cold, snowy, or maybe in a snowstorm. Good luck removing that in that kind of weather and not be feeling very bad. Last most important thing is the lifting jack. Without this, good luck removing a flat tire or changing a tire. Mine comes with a lift like this. This is very high quality, made to last thing. Your car may not have something like this, but I'm sure it will have some kind of option to lift the car. And make sure to check that if you don't know that you have to have this, because if you have a flat tire, good luck removing it or changing it without this. Up here in front, I don't have that much survival stuff. I just have some random items, but usually all the time I have a lighter, regular lighter. I also have some emergency matches in a waterproof case, and I have a small pocket knife. I also have some cheap binoculars, just in case, and some different odds and ends in this small box. For example, like small plugs for the floor and different switches and lights and stuff like that for my car. I also usually have chewing gum with me. It is very important also to have salt with you, because in many situations I have found myself where I was cooking steak and I didn't have salt. And also I have some fragrance, you know, just in case if you have to meet any girls in the woods, you have to be ready. And here are probably the last items that I want to show you. I usually have some kind of snacks with me, some granola or muesli bars. I have so one option of starting a fire is the lighter which I have. Another option are these matches which I have in a waterproof match case. This also has a small ferro rod. I doubt you will be able to start fire with that in emergency, but again, it is better than nothing. And the best emergency fire starting option I think there is this kind of fire starters. They are soaked with paraffin. I think they are cotton or wool, and when you light this up, this burns for like 2 minutes and lights up even very wet wood. I also have some hand warmers. I have some paracord, and I always have a flashlight with me, usually on my EDC, but also in my car as well. I think that's pretty much it. That sums it up. I also usually have the, you know, the thing that makes a bang for self-defense. I usually have that with me when I go on a few day trips or maybe far from the city. You know, this one that goes like this and then like this. I won't say the word because YouTube doesn't like that, and it will flag the video later. I also have some rubber boots with me almost all the time in the car. Again, now it's winter, so in summer things may be different. For example, the chains won't be with me. But I think that this is pretty much the basic survival kit that you may need. I think that I have everything that I need. Also, I want to add a folding saw, for example, a silky saw, but I can't afford that yet, so I'm waiting for that, and I will put a folding saw with me, and then I will truly have a full survival kit in the car. I think that I have everything that I need and nothing that I don't. Everything has their own use, and there are very few luxury items, and I'm ready for most kind of situations, most kind of emergencies. And again, I'm not prepping for like zombie apocalypse or stuff like that. We're down to earth, more serious stuff, more realistic stuff, and I think that I got everything right. Again, it is very important to hear your thoughts as well, so comment down below your thoughts. What do you think about my kit? What do you suggest to add or something to remove? And I'm open to suggestions, and I'm open and ready so that you can change my mind. I will put links down in the description to most of the gear which I can find online. Again, these tools and stuff like that you should buy in your local thrift store. All of this, for example, this pry bar and stuff, tools like the wrenches and stuff like that, I bought it in my local thrift store for like few dollars, $2, $3, $1. This was like $3, I think. This was $1 or $2 and stuff like that. Everything is very cheap in the thrift store, and it is made to last because it was made back like in the Soviet Union, and back then everywhere in the world everything was made to last for generations and not to be a disposable item. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and click that bell icon to get notified for more awesome videos. Again, comment down below your thoughts. All of the important links will be down in the description. Thank you very much for watching. God bless and stay safe out there.